Hi, welcome to my yoga practice. Um, today we'll just do a gentle flow. Pretty simple. You can make it a little bit complex, but it'll be pretty easy for the most part. Let's begin lying on our backs, and we'll have a butterfly pose with our legs. So, lying fully onto your back, we're gonna bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees fall to the sides. I want you to bring awareness to the spine now. Allow the curves to naturally be. So there should be probably an arch in your lower back. Your shoulder blades are touching the mat. Now let's bring one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly. And I want you to try to expand from the pelvis out through the crown. Breathing deep and just extending further. It's more of a thought and a feeling rather than an action. And as you're doing that, notice how the knees begin to drop further and further down. And take a big inhale in, just bringing recognition to the breath. And exhale that all out. Inhale in one more time, big breath. Allowing the knees to drop further down. Maybe tuck the pelvis forward just a little bit. Bring the rib cage in and down, strengthening the core a tad bit. And allow the tension to release. Let's bring the palms together. Reach straight up to the sky. Palms are straight. Hands are together. Now let's open the left hand to the side. Right arm is still reaching up. Breathe deep. Stretch to the crown. Rib cage goes in and down. Nice long line. Now bring the left palm towards that right palm. And then drop the right hand down to the right side. Drop that left shoulder blade down on the mat and stretch those left fingertips. Right hand comes up. The hands meet. And we're going to reach the palms up and over the head, stretching long. As far as you can go. As you do that, notice how the ribs kind of tilt up and press up towards the sky. Now it's on the exhale, bring those down. Maybe pelt the pelvis up, tip the pelvis up just a little bit. And stretch out through the crown. Reaching the hands up and over the head. Further and further. Releasing tension as the knees drop to your sides. Awesome. Let's bring the hands up towards the sky. And then drop the elbows down. We're going to do goalpost arms, fingertips still pointing towards the sky. Broaden the shoulder, reach the neck out of the shoulder. Reach the hands up. Palms are going to meet into a prayer. Then we're going to drop those elbows down one more time. Fingertips still pointing towards the sky. Got like a goal post sort of arms. Check in with the rib cage. You don't want it pointing up, coming out too far. Still keeping that natural curve in the lower back. Hands come up, the palms meet. Now let's bring the knees together. Right leg shoots out. Heel hovers above the mat. Left arm goes back. Reach it long. Now you can drop that right heel and point that right foot and just reach a long line out of the left fingertips and through those right toes. Now bring the hand up to meet the right. Right foot comes in, bend that knee. Left leg goes straight out, hover over the mat. The right arm goes up and stretches long over the head. Hold that heel off the mat just for a moment, and then release it down. Point those left toes, stretch long through the fingertips. Broaden those shoulders. Reach through the crown of the head. Good long line through the fingertips and out of the toes. Bring that foot back to meet the right. Right hand comes up. Awesome. Both hands come up and over the head. Reach them long. And then we're going to curl up slowly, bringing the hands towards the feet. Let them guide you up. Find yourself in a low crunch. Flexing the abs, we're activating the core now. Now let's try to bounce left to right. So we reach the right hand towards that right ankle. And then left hand towards the left ankle. Right to the right, left to the left. Right to the right, left to the left. Find a sort of synchronization here with the breath. Right to the right, left to the left. Awesome. Release that. Spread the legs out long. Now press it into the elbows. We're going to come up, push their hands back. Find ourselves with our feet stretched out long. We're going to broaden the shoulders. Plant the hands. Fingertips are pointing towards the front of the mat. Point the toes out long. Broaden the chest. Reach up to the sky with the chin. Breathe deep. And exhale, we're going to use the legs to scoot our butt back between the hands. We're going to sit in a staff pose, reaching the hands right up towards the sky. Reach them tall. You can bend the knees as generously as you like. Checking in with the long line through the core where the rib cage is in and down. Crown reaches tall. Now let's fold forward, reach over those legs. Maybe grab onto the shins, the ankles, or grab the toes if you can do so. And just remember, we're hinging from the hips here. We don't want to hinge from that lower back. We want to press those hips back as far as we can go. And then we reach forward, allowing the chest to drape over the ribs, towards the knees, stretching deep into those hamstrings. Check in with the rotation of the shins or those calves. Are the toes pointing towards the sky? Notice how you might get a deeper stretch by just rotating those calves inward. Awesome. We're going to bring the right foot back. It plants. Let's hug that right knee. Stretch tall. Now let's bring the left elbow on the outside of that right knee. And we're going to plant the right hand behind us. Stretch tall through the crown. Twist deep. Reach through the spine. Maybe coming onto the fingertips of that right hand just to get more length before you twist deeper. Reaching tall through the crown. Coming out of that twist, reach the right leg long and strong back into a staff pose. Now let's bend that left knee, plant that left foot down. We hug that right knee in. Reach tall through the spine, out through the crown. We come around, hook that right elbow towards that, on the outside of that left knee. We twist deep, reaching through the crown, long spine. Putting a little pressure into that right knee to get a deeper twist. Checking in with the length of your body, making sure you're not bending in the spine at all, but you're reaching tall. Amazing. We're going to drop that left knee to the side. Sweep that right knee around. We're going to come into a 90-90 with our legs. Facing that left knee. Propping ourselves up with that left hand. We're going to breathe deep, release the tension in that right hip, maybe by scooting those hips forward and then back. Releasing tension in that joint muscle. And then we're going to switch sides. So bring the right knee up. It falls into a 90-degree angle. That left knee opens to the side, finding ourselves in a 90-degree angle. Prop ourselves up with our right hand, facing that right knee. We bend and stretch into that left hip. Coming out of that, we're going to come onto that right knee. We're going to bring ourselves forward into a tabletop. Wrists are under the elbows, under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. Let's rock forward and back, maybe tucking those toes. Finding ourselves to plant our hands fully upon the mat. Recognizing what it feels like to be strong in the palm, fully balanced across the palm of the hand. Checking in with just each finger, and bringing awareness to how it's planted, how much force is being pressed down on each of them. Is it balanced? Is it strong? Amazing. Now find that strength in the palm. Bring the right foot back, right knee's off the mat, left foot goes back, meets it. We're in plank for a moment. Hold for a second breath, and then lower down as slowly as possible. Elbows are on the sides of the body. Now we come up gently, bring our elbows down, find ourselves in a Sphinx pose. Pressing into the tops of our feet, we're flexing our legs, flexing the glutes, recognizing the lower back. Is there any pinching pain there? We want a nice solid curve through the spine, broadening the shoulders, reaching through the crown. This is your chance to bring awareness to that lower back. Rather than looking for a deeper stretch, check out the curve of the spine and how the fluctuation of the flexing of your legs creates a different sensation in the lower spine. Alright, release that, bringing the chest down. We plant the hands on the outsides of the chest. We push into the palms. We drop our knees. We find ourselves in a child's pose. Reach those fingertips long. This is a moment to reconnect with the breath. Check in with yourself to see how you're doing. Awesome. We're going to come back into a tabletop position. Find our knees underneath the hips and our hands under the shoulders. Tuck the toes, lift the hips up to the sky. We're coming into our first downward facing dog. Finding our hands planted strong. Our feet planted strong as well. Check in with those palms. How do those palms feel? Are they balanced? Are they planted? Awesome. Once you find that strong palm, we're going to roll forward like a wave through the spine. Find ourselves activating the core in a plank pose for a moment. Then we're going to ripple back, hips come back up to the sky. We're in a downward facing dog. We're going to do that a couple more times. Ripple through the spine. Hands are planted, strong and balanced. Activating the core, long line through the body. And then the hips come up and back. Strong in a downward facing dog. One more time, we ripple through the spine, finding ourselves activating that core in the plank. Inhale for a breath. And exhale is to bring the hips back up to the sky. Catching our breath here, finding a moment to just reconnect. Looking for that strength. Amazing. Now let's just walk our feet towards the front of the mat, nice and slow. Maybe coming onto those fingertips and then bending the knees generously as needed. Come into a flat back with an inhale. Breathe deep. And then exhale is fold forward, bending those knees as needed. Over those legs. And then press into those heels, bend those knees. We come all the way up into a standing pose. Reach those hands tall, up and over the head. And exhale, we fold forward over our legs one more time. Stretch that right leg back. Find ourselves in a runner's lunge. Plant that right palm down. We're going to open our left arm towards the sky. Stretching through that right leg. Looking up towards that left hand. Stretching through the crown. Coming out of that twist, planting our left hand, framing that left foot. Let's step the right foot back towards that left foot. Stretch through the spine. We're in a flat back, pressing possibly into those shins gently, not hyperextending the legs. And exhale is fold forward over those legs. Deep hamstring stretch. Press into those heels, bend those knees. We're coming up into a standing pose. Exhale, we're folding forward over those legs. Awesome. Let's bring that left leg to come back. We find ourselves in a runner's lunge. Find the strength in a long line through that left leg. Plant that left hand down, and we come up, reach tall with that right arm towards the sky. Pressing strong in that left hand. Stretching through that right. Right hand drops down. We're coming out of the twist. Find ourselves in a runner's lunge. Left leg comes forward, meets that right. Breathe deep into the flat back. Exhale, we fold forward over our legs. Pressing into the feet, we're coming up towards the sky, reaching our hands tall up and overhead. Palms come down towards the chest with an exhale. Let's bring the left foot come back. We're in a wide-legged stance. Arms go out in a T. We're pressing into the sides of those feet. Bringing our core right above that pelvis. Opening up the hips. Your feet do not need to be this wide. Whatever feels right for you. Wherever you find that deep stretch. Just remain there and hold for a moment. Stretching those arms nice and long. And then we're going to fold forward over those hips gently. Nice and slow. If there's too much pain in your hips, bring your feet closer together until you're able to fold forward slowly and gently over those legs. The hands are going to meet the ground. We're going to straighten our spine, stretch through the crown of the head. Plant strong in those feet. Don't hyperextend the legs, but plant firm on the sides of those feet. Long line through the hamstrings. And let's exhale, fold through. Maybe grabbing onto the ankles or planting our hands on the mat, pulling us deeper into a stretch. Check in with that breath. You want to still be breathing down here even though we're upside down. Awesome. Straighten the spine. Press into those hands to bring you up to a flat back. And then we're going to walk our hands towards our right leg, bending that right foot, bending that right knee. Plant our hands, right foot goes back, find ourselves in a plank for a moment, and then exhale, slowly lower down onto our belly. Coming back into that Sphinx pose. Remember, conscious awareness of that lower spine. Plant the tops of the feet down. Flex the legs, flex the glutes, and find that strength. Pressing into the forearms, lifting the chest tall, bringing awareness into the curve of the spine. Now this is the last pose before we're going to finish the practice into a child's pose. Let's just check in with that spine one more time. The strength of the legs, the press into the palms, the forearms, the elbows, broaden the shoulders, solid awareness into the curve of the spine. Then we're going to bring ourselves back down with our chest, plant the hands to sides of the body, curl the toes, press into the palms, press into the knees. We drop back into our final pose, child's. We're going to just finish the practice here, bringing a lot of awareness to ourselves. The stretch of the upper body, the reach of the hands, the plant of the fingers, and then check in with that breath. Instead of fluctuating it, just try gazing, watching that breath move. This is a time to find comfort and ease. A time to let go. and time to be present. Amazing. So you can just stay there and finish the practice, or walk up, sit upon your heels, find ourselves in a hero's pose. You can close your eyes here, reach the palms up overhead, hands touch, comes down into a prayer at the heart. This is a moment to give thanks. Just finding one thing that you found in this day that you're grateful for, and bringing it into awareness in this moment, recognizing how it brought you joy. Thank you for joining me today in this practice. I wish you well.